This is based on a question from a different channel. Slow News Day. Nevada's Clark County Commissioner race, District C, 710 mail-in ballots, 121 early votes, 105 election day ballots, 6 who voted twice, 139 discrepancies, and or 218 precincts in a 974,185 ballot county out of an entire election that certified Biden's 90,922 votes over Trump. Trump tweeting ballots being thrown out when they didn't doesn't help anything. It was the local election that was in question because on a ballot, you can have a discrepancy of someone not giving a shit about the county commissioner, but voting Trump or voting Biden. Or it having a discrepancy in the way they voted. That's not 150,000 votes being thrown out. But if it was 150,000 votes, then that would overrule Biden by 90,000 votes, right? I mean, from 90,000 votes, reversing it, right? But you're assuming all of the votes were for Biden. They didn't say which way the votes went. We got 6 who voted twice, but then again, it could have been someone who voted, couldn't confirm whether or not the vote was counted, and went in and voted in person, as suggested by Donald Trump, who basically told people to vote twice in an election, which is actually a fucking felony. But most likely, 6 people, most likely that's not a big deal. We're talking almost 1 million ballots in a county, apparently. And they're only discussing District C anomalies. That's like 1,000 out of 1 million. That's 1/1000th. That's not even percentage point. But hey, you could get rid of the votes there in one county. Except you'd have to have a citation for the 150,000 votes or ballots in Nevada. Or specifically this county is what was mentioned. But how about Nevada? Nope, couldn't find it. I can find 150,000 ballots mentioned these ways. UPS delaying ballots after Election Day. Biden receiving that amount more than in Michigan, and more than Trump. Or Pennsylvania mail-in ballots with that exact number that were naked ballots, not in the secrecy envelope, because you have to have anonymous or secret ballot rules followed. Those are the only references I could find. There were other references referring to other countries, but the more I looked at it on a larger and larger scale, the less it pointed towards a specific county in a specific state in a specific country, the United States, going towards Trump. Again, the presumption is that if Trump loses an election, just minus out a certain number of ballots by category. And then they find out it doesn't change the outcome, or maybe even makes it worse. So they say, no, put those ballots back, find another combination so we can reduce the number going to Biden, which is the entire point. Trump either wants votes not counted because they went towards Biden, or wants them counted or continue to count if they might go his way. He's not saying don't let in mail-in ballots. He's only saying so when it would benefit him. And this has been noted by the various courts. You're only demanding votes not be counted when it would benefit you, or having them counted if they benefit you. You're not doing it based on any principle here. If it was just, I don't want mail-in ballots that were allowed to be postmarked and then shipped late because of UPS, or I don't want you to throw out ballots, or I want you to throw out ballots because the envelope came open. He's not applying the rules universally from state to state because that wouldn't do him any good. If all things are treated equal, Trump still loses. Trump tweeting a specific county in Nevada had to throw out any ballots isn't factual because they didn't throw them out. Every county I looked up said they didn't throw out that number of ballots or for that reason. Specifically, District C, which was mentioned for Clark County, or just Clark County in general. At any rate, when I look it up, it has nothing to do with Biden and Trump ballots. or votes. And again, if you look up 150,000 votes or ballots within the United States, it doesn't point at this at all. So I need a citation for this. I'm finding people retweeting it, but they don't tell you where they get the story from. They're just using the arbitrary number 150,000. So I will use that in the YouTube video you're watching in the title. If you're wondering where these stories come from, I'm curious too. And again, I'm going to repeat this for emphasis added. The last umpteen times I've checked out some assertion on a blog or Twitter, they don't have a citation. They don't have any evidence. The one guy who created some evidence was found out to have used a methodology that doesn't make any fucking sense. He just kept trying to juggle the numbers so that Trump could win. And eventually, when that didn't work, he just claimed to see anomalies when he watched the system have the count go up and down in ratio. And sometimes absolute count numbers. But those were preliminary or unofficial ballot numbers being posted on basically some senator's blog. They're not evidence of anything. The actual count in each state and each election headquarters and every place that's counting ballots all agree that Barack Obama won an election a long time ago too. They also show that Donald Trump didn't win this election. Yeah, looking at the previous behavior of the places that are in question, well, they're always Democrat, blah, 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 it's all Fogg's gay. And then you look it up and you don't look up when they weren't controversial, that they took weeks to do some of this. This is not new. This happens every fucking year. Everybody outside of the area is pointing at it. People in the area are like, yeah, they didn't certify it for weeks before either. It didn't matter. You didn't care last time. When anybody ever cares about a vote in an area, suddenly everybody applies very strong scrutiny to it. Look up all the previous elections. Well, you don't question it when Donald Trump wins. But the Democrats did. You know they did. They questioned it in several areas, didn't they? Yes. Which ones? Did they give up after a while because it became fruitless and stupid and made them look like a bunch of bitches? Most of them. Some of them kept looking like bitches. Trump is not going to stop looking like a bitch. And yes, his lawyers and people making assertions and writing out affidavits don't care if they lie or make a mistake or are true believers that you can't really convict for lying because they know that they're not going to get punished for it. Having a former mayor of New York who's a current stooge for Trump lie isn't a surprise. Okay? And the same claims are made, like I'm doing towards Trump and his campaign, about Obama and every other Democrat. But suddenly they can't apply to Republicans because fucking reasons. Repeating, the election discrepancy had nothing to do with the vote count for Trump, and they're not intertwined. If you demand that, then you're demanding that they throw out basically Republicans winning in most of these states because a lot of Republicans voted straight ticket but voted against Trump. If you throw out their ballots, the Democrats win the states. Pick your fucking poisons. Trump sure is. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.